Hallo und willkommen zurück zu Doki Doki Literature Club. Und ja, wir sind noch immer in derselben Aufnahmesession. Das heißt, wir schauen uns jetzt noch die Gedichte an von Juri und von Monika. Also die beiden müssten mein Gedicht eigentlich mögen. Die haben ja, wie ich gesehen habe, die meisten Punkte bekommen. Ich glaube, Juri müsste die allermeisten haben. Das heißt, wir machen Monika zuerst. Mal gucken, was sie sagt. So, hi again. How's the writing going? Alright, I guess I'll take that. As long as it's not going bad. I'm happy that you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece. I wouldn't count on that. You never know. Want to share what you wrote for today? Sure, here you go. I give my poem to Monica. Alright, great job. I was going, oh, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Like Sairi, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. And don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Alright, let's take a look. Save me. Okay, der Titel, Naga. The colors, they won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors, flashing, expanding, piercing, red, green, blue, an endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise, it won't stop. Violent, grating waveforms, squeaking, screeching, piercing, sine, cosine, tangent, like playing a chalkboard on a turntable, like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust. Okay. An endless poem of meaningless. Load me. Okay, warum ist hier so viel freigelassen? Also, ich fand das erste persönlich besser, was sie geschrieben hat. It's even more abstract than your last one, huh? I guess it's just the way I write. I'm sorry if you don't like it. No, I never said that. It's just kind of thing I've never really seen before, I guess. I kind of like playing with my space on the paper, choosing where and how to space your words can totally change the mood of the poem. It's almost like magic. The way I wrote the lines really short makes it feel like they're trying to speak over the noise. I see. It's still hard for me to tell what it's about though. Sometimes asking what a poem is about isn't the right question. A poem can be as abstract as a physical expression of a feeling, or a conversation with the reader. So, putting it that way, not every poem is about something. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. You never know when you might change your mind. Or when something unexpected may happen. Ich glaube, ich sollte gleich mal speichern. Wait, is this tip even about writing? What am I even talking about? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Ich speichere mal kurz. Wir haben noch gar nicht gespeichert, das ist die erste Session. Empty Slot. Warum gibt es so viele Speichermöglichkeiten? Na gut, jetzt haben wir gespeichert auf jeden Fall. So, jetzt kommt Juri zum Schluss. Der müsste gleich am meisten gefallen. Let's see what you've written for today. Iris stared at the poem with a surprised expression on her face. Do you like it? How did you pick up on this so quickly? Just yesterday I was telling you the kind of techniques worth practicing. Maybe that's why. You did a good job explaining. I really wanted to try giving it more imagery. Yuri visibly swallows. Even her hands appear sweaty. I'm not used to this. Used to what? I don't know. It's fine. Take your time. Yuri breaths and collects her thoughts. I know Yuri likes to think before she speaks, so I offer that patience to her. Yeah, just being appreciated like this, I guess. It probably sounds really stupid, but seeing someone motivated by my writing, it just makes me really happy. Are you saying you've never shared your writing before? Yuri nods. Really? I don't believe it. I really only write for myself. And besides, people would just laugh at me. Do you really think that? Again Yuri nods. Even your close friends? Yuri doesn't respond to that. I wonder why. Anyway, do you want to share the poem you wrote today? Yeah, I do. If it's with you. Jetzt kommt die Schrift wieder. Gut. The Raccoon. It happened in the dead of the night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scattering of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies as an unordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread, my subconscious well aware of the consequences, well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom. The bread, my hungry curiosity, the raccoons are urge. The moon increments its face and reflects that much more light off my cutting knife. The very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited. Or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions onto the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement. A rush of blood, classic Pavlovian conditioning. I slice the bread and I feed myself again. A rush of blood. Conditioning. Hat die den Waschbären jetzt mitgetötet? Und zum Schluss heißt der Fegen, jetzt füttert sie sich selbst wieder und mit Rush of Blood. Und okay, na. I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday's. I can see that. It's a lot more metaphorical. I don't know if it's my fault, but I can't begin to imagine what this poem is about. That's right. It's a bit closer to my preferred writing style, using the poem as a canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them. Yeah, if I take it at face value, then I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean. Well, I think it's something that different people can relate to in their own way. I wanted to express the way it feels more for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. It's those sorts of things I'm usually forced to keep to myself. So I sometimes enjoy writing about them. That's funny. Didn't Natsuki also write something about that? About something being ridiculed for a strange interest? She did? Yeah. She was talking about how it doesn't matter what you're into as long as you're not hurting anybody. She's right. I mean, does she really feel that way? Yeah. Sounds like you two have that in common. That's interesting. To me, she seemed like like the kind of person who would make fun of my hobbies. But I suppose that's my fault for judging, isn't it? Please don't tell her I said that. Don't worry. I have no reason to. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing it with me. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I would probably hate myself. I might be ranting a little bit now, but I'm glad that you're a good listener. Okay, everyone. We're all done reading each other's poems, right? I have something extra planned today, so if everyone could come sit at the front of the room. Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. Do we really have to do something for the festival? It's not like we can put together anything good in just a few days. We'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members. That's a concern of mine as well. I don't really do well with last-minute preparations. Don't worry so much. We're going to keep it simple, okay? We won't need much more than a few decorations. Sari has been working on posters, and I've designed some pamphlets we can give out during the event. Okay, that's great at all, but that doesn't tell us what we're actually going to be doing for the event. Sorry, I thought you heard about that already. We're going to be performing. Performing? Monica? Yeah, we're going to having a poetry performance. Each of us are going to choose a poem to recite during the event. But the cool part is, we're also going to let anyone else come up and recite poems too. Cyrus putting it on all the posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time. Sorry, who's been coloring a poster holds it up for us to see. You're kidding me, Monica. You didn't already start putting those posters up, did you? Well, I did. Do you really think it's that bad of an idea? Well, no. It's not a bad idea, but I didn't sign up for this, you know. There's no way I'm going to performing in front of a group of people like that. I agree with Natsuki. I could never in my life do something like that. Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear. Guys, no sorry, I understand where they are coming from. Remember that Natsuki and Yuri have never shared their poems with anyone until just a couple days ago. It's a lot to ask for them to recite their poems out loud to a whole room of full people. I guess I kind of overlooked that, so I'm sorry. But I think we should give it to our best. We are the only one responsible for the fate of this club. If we start the event and each put on a good performance, then it will inspire others to do the same. And the more people who perform, the better we'll be able to show everyone what literature is all about. Yeah, it's about expressing your feelings, being intimate with yourself, finding new horizons, and having fun. That's right. And it's those reasons that we're all in this club today. Don't you want to share that with others? To inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place? I know you do. I know we all do. And if all it takes is standing in front of the room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it. Natsuki and Yuri remain silent. Sari looks worried. I guess that leaves me no choice. I agree. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think that Sari and Monica have been trying really hard to get new members. The least we can do is help them out a little bit. Well, maybe, but it looked like Natsuki doesn't have any arguments left. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just have to get it over with. Alright. Thanks, Natsuki. What about you, Yuri? Yuri dejectedly glances around at everyone else's expectant faces. I guess I don't really have a choice. Ah, that's everyone. You're the best, Yuri. This club is seriously going to be the death of me. Entschuldigung. Ich war in Gedanken gerade etwas anders. Wie gesagt, ich habe es schon mal gesagt, so ein paar Bilder und so weiter habe ich schon gesehen. Mehr sage ich nicht. Oh gosh. You'll be fine, Yuri. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. I want each of you to choose a poem of yours. We are going to practice reciting them in front of each other. No way! Monica, this is too sudden. Well, if you can't recite your poem in front of the club, how do you expect to do it in front of strangers? Oh no, don't worry. I'll start off to help everyone feel a little more comfortable. Can I go next? Ah, of course. Now, let's see. Monica flips through her notebook to the specific poem she has in mind for herself. She then stands behind the podium. The title of this poem is The Way They Fly. Monica begins reciting her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, her inflection is pristine. She knows exactly how to apply emotion behind each line she recites, bringing the words to life. Is this something she's done before, or is she simply a natural? I glance around me. Everyone has their eyes on Monica. Sari looks amazed. Yuri has an intense expression on her face that I don't understand. Finally, Monica finishes the recitation. The four of us applaud. Monica takes a breath and smiles. That was good, Monica. Thank you very much. I was just hoping to set a good example. Are you ready to go next, Sari? I go next. Yuri is fired up all of a sudden. Yuri clutches the sheet of paper between her hands and stands up. Keeping her head down, she walks quickly over to the podium. This poem is called You anxiously glances at each of us. So, you can do it here. That it's called After Image of a Crimson Eye. Yuri's voice shakes as she starts reading the poem. Ja, gut, sie ist nervös und ich mache das Bullet zum Lesen. Just a moment ago, she practically refused to do this. Why is she suddenly putting in so much effort? As Yuri gets past the first couple of lines, her voice changes. It's almost like what happens when Yuri gets absorbed into her books. Her quivering words transform into the sharp syllables of a fierce and confident woman. The poem is full of twists and turns in its structure that she enunciates with perfect timing. This must be a rare glimpse into the whirling fire Yuri keeps concealed inside her head. Suddenly she's finished. Everyone is stunned. Yuri snaps back into reality and glances around her, as if she bewildered even herself. It's up to me to save the situation. I'm the first to start applauding. Everyone joins me afterward, and we give Yuri the recognition she deserves. It's not that we didn't want to applaud for her, but we were caught so off guard that we must have forgotten. As we applaud, Yuri holds the poem to her chest and rushes back into her seat. Yuri, that was really good. Thank you for sharing. Looks like Yuri is down for the count. Okay, I guess I'm next then. Sari hops out of the chair and cheerfully walks to the podium. This one's called My Meadow. Ah, sorry, I giggled. Sorry. It's a lot harder than I thought. How did you guys do it so easily? Try not to think of it like you're reciting to other people. Imagine you're reciting it to yourself, like in front of a mirror or in your own head. It's your poem, so it'll come out the best that way. I see. Okay then. Sari begins her poem. Somehow, it feels like her soft voice was made as a perfect match. The poem isn't aimlessly cheery like Sari is. It's serene and bittersweet. If I were to read this on paper, I probably wouldn't think much of it. But hearing it come from Sari's voice almost gives it a whole new meaning. Maybe this is what Sari meant when she said she likes my poems. It's like I get to reach more deeply into someone I thought I knew through and through. Sari finishes and we applaud. I did it. Good job, Sari. Even Nargacuga liked it. I guess that's a good sign. What does that even mean? It came out nicely, Sari. The atmosphere of the poem fits you really nicely. But it might be that other poems wouldn't work quite as well with that kind of delivery. Huh? I don't really understand. In other words, I've seen poems of yours where that sort of gentle delivery wouldn't work as well. They might need a little more force behind them, depending on what you're reading. Oh, I know what you mean. I've been practicing that kind of thing. It's just embarrassing to do in front of everyone. Then next time I'm going to make you pick a poem that challenges you a little more. We don't have much time before the festival, you know. Okay. Now, who's next? Natsuki? Don't make me go before Naga. It's not like I can compare to you guys anyway. Might as well let him lower everyone's standards a little before I have to do it. Natsuki. It's fine. I might as well get it over with. But it's not like I have much of a selection of what to read. I'll just have to go with what I wrote for today. I stand up and step in front of the podium. Everyone has the eyes on me, making me feel terribly awkward. I recite my poem. Since I'm not exactly confident in my own writing, it's hard to put energy into it. Despite that, once I finish, I receive applause anyway. Sorry, I'm not really as good as everyone else. Don't worry about it so much. I think it's less about your abilities and more about your lack of confidence in your writing. That's something that'll improve over time, though. Yeah, maybe. Alright then. That just leaves you, Natsuki. Yeah, I'm going. Natsuki begrudgingly gets out of her seat and makes her way to the podium. The poem is called... It's called... Why are you looking at me? Because you're presenting. And the poem is called Jump. Natsuki takes a breath. Once she starts reciting the poem, her sour attitude disappears a little. While she's still a little unenthused, her poem has a rhythm and a rhyme to it. It's Natsuki's trademark style, and it works surprisingly well when she's spoken aloud. The words feel like they bounce up and down, as if giving life to the poem. Natsuki finishes and everyone applauds. She huffs back onto her seat. That wasn't so bad, was it? Easy for you to say. You'd better not make me to do that again. Oh well. Do you at least feel prepared enough to recite a poem in front of other people? I mean, doing it in front of other people will be way easier. I can put on whatever face I want for other people, but when it's just my friends, it's just embarrassing. That's a surprise, Natsuki. I think it would be the other way around for me. Well, that's just how it is, so. Well, I guess in that case, you won't have much to worry about for the festival. That said, I want to thank everyone for coming through. It might be hard, but I hope that you'll all have an idea of what it's like now. Make sure you pick a poem and get enough practice before the festival, okay? I'll be making pamphlets, so let me know ahead of time what you'll be reciting. Jeez. I should probably find some other poem to recite instead. That's fine too. It doesn't have to be your own. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're putting in all this effort for the club. It makes me really happy. Yeah, no problem. Okay everyone, I think that's about it for today. I know the festival is coming up, but let's try to write poems for tomorrow as well. It's been working out really nicely so far, so I'd like to continue that. As for the festival, we'll finish planning tomorrow, and then we'll have the weekend to prepare. Monday's the big day. I can't wait. I can do this. Alright. I stand up. There's no way I'll be able to find the same enthusiasm as Syria and Monica, but I'll do my best to get through it. If it's for the sake of the club and impressing Monica, then I'll have to do my best. Ready to go, Syri? Yep. Look at you two always going home together like that. It's kind of adorable, isn't it? Jeez, guys, don't make such a big deal out of it. It must be a little nice, though. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? It's okay. You don't have to say it. Whatever, let's go already. I walk home with Sari once more. Even though it's only been a few days, a lot of things have already changed. But today, Sari is being a little quieter than usual on the way home. Hey Sari. Sorry, I was spacing out. No wonder. I was thinking about something from earlier. I like how we get to... Sari fumbled with her words. So, let's just say that one day Yuri asked to walk home with you. Huh? What would you do? What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here. Machen wir das mal, gucken. Walking home with Yuri, huh? Does the thought of that make my heart pound? I mean, given how hard it is for her to socialize, I would feel awful turning her down, so isn't she so beautiful and smart? That has nothing to do with what I just said. Ah, you admitted it. Jeez. There's not even any point in speculating something that's never going to happen. Well, maybe, but I just like to think about it. It's not long before you won't need me anymore, you know. Need you? Sorry. I can't figure out how you're seeing things in your head right now. Sorry. Everyone's so different. Nobody in a club is a replacement for you. If you say so. The conversation trails off, and I'm left feeling awkward. But it was kind of her fault for trapping me with such a weird question. I can't just lie to her. But if there's something that makes her happy, I would hate to take that away from her. That's why I said there's no point in speculating. Then again, the festival is only a few days away. Who knows what will happen in that time? Ach, das muss ich schon wieder eins machen. Also, anhand der Texte und so weiter, die jetzt da, anhand der Gespräche und Gedanken, so die der Hauptcharakter hier hat, würde ich sagen, finde, dass der Hauptcharakter aber an sich eher an Monika interessiert ist. Ich meine, er will vor ihr gut dastehen und so. Sollen wir jetzt mal versuchen, für Monika zu gehen? Ja, komm, versuchen wir das mal. Okay, das war schon mal das Falsche. Aha. Verdammt. Mir funktioniert das nicht ganz. Verdammt. Das kann doch nicht sein. Ah. Das war ja falsch. Ha. Gut, das war so ein bisschen durchgemixt. Gut, dann würde ich so sagen, bevor wir jetzt weitermachen, was für heute. Und bevor ich es vergesse, weil das Monika am Tag davor super gesagt hat, speichern wir nochmal. So, dann würde ich sagen, danke fürs Zuschauen. Ich glaube, ich beende die Aufnahmesession dann auch mal. Und dann würde ich sagen, bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao.